Let's go for it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me coming? Let's go. Okay, really fast. Let's go with this. Lean canvas versus traditional business plan. What is lean canvas? I don't know if it's up to date nowadays, but since we are all building stuff with vibe coding and getting ideas across, I would think I would come back to a concept called lean canvas, which really helps you focus on getting your plan a lot faster than traditional business plan. You can of course create a business plan afterwards, but the idea behind lean canvas is you create many iterations of your plan until you go to a final solution. And the final solution will not necessarily be your idea, it will be whatever works best. It's like a scientific, it's adding scientific, not scientific, adding methodology to madness. Okay, let's go for that. Um, it's just a really fast, and we'll do one right live. A traditional business plan is detailed, a comprehensive document is long, and it's also it's long document you can prepare. And a link canvas is concise and it's a single page plan. It's a single page plan. So we'll put it. Okay. A traditional business plan has different parts: executive summary, company description, market analysis, whatever. And all of this, you basically think it up, make it up, and refine them on that. Uh, Traditional business plan advantages, of course, it's got aspects, comprehensive. It gives you a long-term roadmap. It's investor friendly. I would you think this is going to work that way, that's going to work this way, but you can't really know. It's less flexible and hard to pivot. You can't really know. I've made plenty of business plans in my day. Okay, the problem with business plans, let's go here. The problem with business plans, no, link canvas, let's go with that. What is link canvas? Is basically a one page solution based on a set of key blocks, and you add a key metric. And those uh, key metrics are the ones that are going to give you indicator on which way you want. You can have your key metrics. It can be any number of followers, number of clients, number of your contacts. You create your value, your key metrics, and that will determine your success or not. Okay, so that's a bit different from a business plan. But that's uh, advantages. It's fast to create. It's concise. It focuses on elements of a business. You can actually do it on a physical board, which is ideal. Now there are apps, but the ideal is to do it in a physical board, which is very good to if you have two or more people. Is you can test assumptions, which is very good thing. And especially if you're in a group, you can say, hey, this is an assumption, this is not assumption, and you can test. You know, it's very customer focused. I'm not sure that's the word, but it's problem solved um, based. Okay, we'll do an example. Uh, there's less details, but however, it's also there are many business lean canvas. You don't only do one, you do many. uh, Oversimplify, I'm not sure about that either. Investment precision, sure, but the good thing about it is sure investor might want a business plan, but also if you do your lean canvas correctly, you might be halfway there by the time you need an investor. So your project might be already running because you you don't have to wait statically to it to start. You can start focusing on the problems, and you will solve the problem because you have been testing it, and you might be already running, and you might or might not need the investor, but he will catch you running. It's not all theoretical, and then if there's no money, you don't get started. It requires iteration, which if you ever done anything correctly, you know that iteration is the key. Okay, times, hours versus day, length, focus problem, adaptability, audience, team, early advisors, and founders, and also teams and people that you want to get on board to. That's link analysis. When to use, blah, 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 blah. Early stage, validating ideas, very interesting. Iterating quickly, and internal planning, of course, and also pivoting, because you might start with one idea, and you really don't know if that's the solution. You don't fall in love with your solution, which for me is a good thing, especially if you're not in a traditional business. If you're trying to do something different. uh, Business plan is for loans to funding, established businesses, complex operations. Yeah, that's completely true. You can always build a business plan later for specific things, but I will always start with a lean canvas. Let's do one. Why not? Uh, Here we got a nice lean canvas that we have here. It's a lean stack app. I don't know. I have it here, and you can do this on paper. You don't need to do this on this app. You can. The ideal thing is to put it on a board and do it yourself there with post-its, and also get more people involved. Because if you're more than one person, it will be easier to to talk about it. If anybody wants to join me while I'm doing it, we can go ahead and do it. In this example, I'm going to make a fictional. It's an academy. It's an academy in a. It's fictional or real, whatever. It's an academy idea for to teach people in third world countries how to program and how to take advantages of AI and get a new income. Okay, uh, w- it's just an idea, so it's not defined right now. So what's the business plan? What's the cost and stuff? Very particular to somebody's situation. Okay, we can start here with the problem. Sometimes you start with the customer. What is the problem? Is since it's the academy in it could be third world, but it could be anywhere in the world. The 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 biggest problem is changing job markets or existent. Sorry, unstable job market. That's a huge. That's a huge problem, and also a big problem is higher cost of things. That's a big problem also. Higher cost of those are two problems, and also personal fulfillment and work life balance. Whatever personal fulfillment and work-life balance. That is a very big problem. Of course, it is a problem in the third world, especially, but it's a problem everywhere in the world. Things are getting more expensive, and what are you gonna do? What are you? So I mean, hey, maybe we can take leverage. Maybe we could leverage AI, vibe coding, whatever, and go with it. Yeah, the first thing that's different from a business plan is that it's an open solution. This exercise, the idea is you can reiterate many, many times until you get exactly. This is just so we can even put a timer here to see how long we take it to do this. Can we do it in like a half an hour? I don't know. Let's give ourselves 45 minutes. Well, let's give ourselves an hour, and we'll see how much we can get done in an hour. Okay, let's go for it. We've got a small clock up here, ticking. We'll try to get it done in less than an hour. Okay, which is a very different from business, but you can start with that. You can send it over and whatever. Okay, we're saying stable Jordan, existing alternative. Mm, you don't work, no job. Sorry, that's the no job, no income. That's existing. Many people also. Existing alternative to highway cost, well, you cut on activities on so and save money. That's an alternative. Personal fulfillment, you just do what you have. Work life balance, do what you want. It's not what you have the whatever job you can get, you're not gonna complain. So you deal with it. Deal with whatever. Deal with the reality. This is the thing. So you might be working on something that you don't want, but it's the job that you have. Okay. What is the solution? Is in this case the solution is learn new skills, but that's already uh, any academy can do that, but also leverage your experience and leverage also the and leverage modern technologies and AI. For what does that mean? For example, say you work as a shoemaker or whatever, and hey, you're doing okay, but you want to update your income, get a better life, whatever, and so you You can learn new skills, you could learn whatever, but you could also take advantage of what you already know. And with AI and technologies, create services and teach people stuff, with learning a little bit of programming, so, but you don't need to know everything now. So the academy is mostly it's going to be mostly about programming and newer technologies, because that's what I know. Okay. Unique value proposition is it helps with all this. Dictate your create your own job. You know, create your own job market. Create a market where you are the the the, the value. No, become the value of your. Sorry, create a market where your and experience. So that's the value says you create a market where you are the center. No? Is the protagonist. For example, some people were this is a classic. They start selling whatever, they start selling T-shirts. They start whatever. They learn how to mm, print 3D and learn how to do 3D, and they're selling whatever art on 3D. They used to be there, and then they become the market because they do the other things. Some people use 3D. Some people use create an app to sell whatever they already have. Some people start leveraging their social media skills, their voice, and help people with their voice, with the photography, arts, whatever things you learn, you can apply it and create a market for yourself. That's the create a market for yourself instead of depending. I'll write it here because they're different idea. You can create yourself value. That's what we'll have to unique value proposition, and a high level concept is what is that? Okay, unfair advantages. Okay, unfair advantages is that we are going to leverage to experience. I got experience doing that. Okay, and also let's do that. Technology and unfair advantage. Been there, done that. For example. So I know what we're talking about. And right now, it's very broad. It's an idea I have in my head, but help me define. Now let's go with the customer segments. The main segments for this academy, in particular, is people with experience, with job experience. Long term, because I'm trying to reach to people that are not the usual targets of academy. It's people with long uh, working experience. That's a very good segment because there's a lot of knowledge there that you're not going to find somehow that's not valuable nowadays, but that can be leveraged because you can put your knowledge that can be used to create that knowledge in itself is about it. We can do that. This academy can help you create knowledge of your experience. We can put that as a unique proposition there and create a value from your experience, life experience. It is true, huh? Because right now, I find myself that a lot of people, especially now that we're going in the era of AI, a lot of contact with AI, with people, it's going to be AI driven. And guess what? Before AI, those people that were actually doing stuff, and they can leverage that knowledge. That's very good. Also, people that have in this academy, people that have completed formal education. That's also a segment for these people. So you're gonna say, hey, this is not, yeah, because it's not. I mean, it's an idea. It's not a typical academy where you're gonna learn how to teach. No, that the idea is, hey, maybe you've studied law or whatever. So hey, what about if I created something that will make my law work? So maybe you study literature, so maybe, hey, how can I convert my skills to do this and that? That's the idea. And also people with creative, people with talents, that's also the target, the customer segment where this academy is aimed at. It's a strange combination, but I think that's what's different. People with the complete education, people with work experience, and people with talent, which one thing doesn't keep the other. This is, in my opinion, a, an explosive. Okay, okay. This is the create value from your own life, and yeah, this is going to be the high concept for now. Uh, uh, Create value from your own life experiences with learning, leveraging, and with AI. That's create value from your own life and job experience with AI. That's the idea basically. So it's an AI academy. I don't know. We are giving it for, but that's the main idea. We're gonna take whatever knowledge you have and teach you how you can create value from that with AI or technology. But it's AI is the technology now. We'll put AI for now there and technology. Okay. Here we go. Early adopters of this. It's going to be close contacts. It's going to be close contacts, family, for close contacts, family, friends, uh, past students, because I have taught, past past clients. Just simplify. And then up to that. The key metrics for to this. Okay, let's put here the key metric for this is gonna be let's okay. Let's try to create in 1 month a course for this academy, a concrete course. Yeah, can we do that? And we can put the uh, let's put 30 people. Okay, this is the what if 50 minutes. One was that. This is the key on the. This is the key differentiator on with the business plans. We can create a course, and we can put a goal that 3 people signed up. This is very easy to measure. If you don't create the course, if nobody signs up, if 20 people sign up, we could put a price or not, but that could be another metric later. We just start, hey, is somebody interested in creating value from your own life experience to AI, creating value and income, no? Creating value and income. That's the goal of the academy. Is anybody interested in signing up to an academy where you can leverage whatever you know via AI and technology and get an income from that? If nobody's interested, we can pivot easily, and we can ask, hey, so what are you interested in? The channels is a word of mouth. It's going to be closed forums, for example. Because, for example, if we're going to do it here or there, physical or not, the idea is that it's a physical place, not an online place. But hey, physical education, but we don't know. Because the idea is if this is going to be, especially here in the Western world, I don't know, but in the third world, it sort of have to be physical because online is not it's not reliable yet. So that's the past students. That's the idea. Physical, it could be there. It will be physical. Physical ubication. Maybe that's not the English word. Location. Okay, that's the channel. We put you put the signage. Okay, course structure. Usually, you would have a place if it's physical to a place where it's physical. It will be a rent a place in the whatever place. I already have a place, but let's put a value here, $300 because I have a place there already. But I'll give it a value of 300 euros a month, for example. It's a good place to have a couple of computers and internet connection. Computers. Uh, let's put couple of computers here. Like let's put the 5,000. I don't know. This is a month. Huh? Computers. Okay. We need also other classroom like TVs and stuff. Whatever. We're talking about another put here 2,000. Yeah, it's just an example. Huh? Okay, this is the cost structure that is predicted. It's not it's not here yet, but we can put this up also, whatever. And office supplies, whatever. That's in a physical location, and especially in online. In third world countries, the computers also can go down, the rent can go down, but we'll account for that. If this is for Western world, it's not going to be online. It's going to be online, and there's not going to be this cost because everybody has a computer here. So the cost for a online cost, let's put this like it's like rent. Let's put the rent, whatever, internet server. Let's put a 300. Yeah, server cost a month. Okay, and this also gives me an idea. This is that's we're almost there. We didn't take that long. Also gives me an idea. As I said, we can pivot that and we can change our key metrics, and we'll see. The physical, we'll see. This also gives me an idea. The revenue streams for this academy. Right now, we're thinking on the third world. So the revenue streams cannot really be the what do you call that matricula. Uh, they cannot really be the what, tuition. So tuition it can be, but it's not going to be the best. The best. It's not really a good, especially in the third. So we're going to put the revenue streams are going to be some of the projects that we build here. So we can help people get their projects, and we can become part of that success. So projects that we build. By that's good. That's going to part of your tuition is going to be, hey, if you build a project, we will get that, and that's where we are. Also, I'm thinking right now, since this whole online method come, online subscriptions could be part of the revenue as part of a you can help somebody over there. Sabes, Western patrons, patrons that so the idea is if it is an online version, which I really did not think, could say, hey, I'm going to volunteer my time. I'm going to write my time, my knowledge. I'm going to volunteer that, and you can do it freely, or you can do it. Hey, maybe you can go there later and stay there, whatever. Just an idea. We just an idea. And the Patreons, I don't know if that word even exists, Western Patreons. And the third revenue stream, it could be uh, projects, other projects that we build, and also funding, general funding. Because a lot of for example, the computers, the TVs, all that stuff, it could be donated if it's in the third world. You say, hey, we have all these computers we're not using. We're going to build an academy there and use them, rent them, whatever. That's so. Hey, in half an hour, we have a lean canvas. From here, we could create a business plan. Of course, we have to detail if it's going to be in the third world, if not. But that's a stepping point. So that's actually better than I thought. That's actually really good, really good. And that's it. Then we could take this and reiterate over it because this is like a very high level, but it's solid. We could finalize the high concept a little bit. The metrics are very very vague. Maybe we should add the into the metrics. We should add something about the definition of the revenue streams and we define a little bit more something to do. But this is basically the idea of a link canvas. And then from here, this is the first version, and we will academy can change it. Right here. Okay, that's an idea. Brazil, and this is a so this is a physical academy festival in the third world. Let's call it that. First idea, brick mortar. Okay, that's the beginning. It could change. Huh? Brick and mortar academy in a third world country, and we'll also pitch the idea to 5 people. The high level concept. High level concept. Create value and income in your own life with AI in a that's it. Of course, all this, but you see how this is helping us define the concept. So it's we're getting there. We're getting there. This is very close to at least something. Say, hey, I'm going to pitch this to a couple of people and see what are their thoughts. I'll get the feedback. And then we can create a course or not. Maybe we can't, but it doesn't matter. We have that, and this is basically selling canvas, and then we'll create more canvases, more canvases, more canvas, and define it. Maybe we end up with something completely different because there is something interesting that this might be interesting to the world, but it might be interesting in in this world also. So in Western world or whatever. I think it's an interesting concept of having people with experience, donate their experience, and with AI, people that don't have access to all the knowledge in the world can actually learn new skills and use their own experience to get an income. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I hope this was somewhat useful for somebody. It was very useful for myself. Bye bye.